Why is it so hard to wish a nigga well? They rather see me.
I like your outfits, kid.
I love your hat. I love it.
Are you trying to be funny?
Super. What would be the theme music if we was doing this
Or are
right
you
now?
just gonna jump right to the topic? What was
So-
your question?
super. What would be the theme music if we had to, like, pick a theme music for this podcast?
If we had to pick theme music for this,
Yeah.
I don't know. That's a good. I got to ask me that next episode. I'll think about that. I think, because I think for what we're doing, like I don't want to limit us to like
But
one.
would it be like a
I think it should change every episode. We should play like new music to like open the episode up.
Yeah.
Yeah, why not?
But what would be the genre?
That's the point. It don't matter.
Like rock, country one day.
I'm with it. We want to do some rock, some heavy metal, fucking do some Limp Bizkit. You want we can do some Limp Bizkit if you want. It don't matter.
Some Blink 182.
Huh?
Blink 182.
Blink 182. That's a good one too. That's not bad. A little NSYNC. We just talked about NSYNC the other day too.
For real?
We sure did.
I remember I left my
Did you ask me a question about NSYNC?
I probably did.
I said that was my first concert I went to.
Yeah. I left
NSYNC
my
concert.
I left my Netflix on in Portland in a hotel.
When
And
we
I
were in
went-
Portland?
Yeah, I went to Portland too. I see what
Did
you
they
did
change
right
the
there.
names?
I see. No, somebody's been watching like the Nicholas Shea love story
No way.
on my account, and I was like, "Yo, I'm in a house." I'm like, "Why?" And it actually was pretty cool at one point.
I got a random question for you.
All right, go ahead, shoot.
To me personally, I think putting pineapples on your pizza is criminal. Like, what is your opinion of that?
It depends. Like, what are the substitutions with it? Like what are the other toppings with it?
Nah,
It's
just cheese, pepperoni, and pineapples.
yeah, it'd be cool.
You like that?
I'll try it.
Yeah?
Yeah. If you had to like make your ultimate pizza,
Ooh, okay, my ultimate pizza. I'm pretty simple though. I'm just a cheese guy, man. But if I'm feeling, like I need something extra, I'm gonna throw some olives, maybe some banana peppers, some ground beef, maybe.
banana peppers.
I don't know what it is about banana peppers, but I put them on everything, like subs, pizza. Like it don't matter. Like, if I could put it on there, even in like rice bowls, banana peppers need it. I don't know what it is about the texture and the taste of banana peppers. I love them.
Yeah, I used to watching the Turtles, and they would always, can we order extra anchovies?
Disgusting.
And then I tried it, and I was like, this shit is horrible.
Yeah, they put it on Caesar salads, which is also insane. Like it ruins the entire thing of a Caesar salad. I don't like it personally. No knock on people that put anchovies on their Caesar salads. That's on you. But me personally, I'm not a fan of it.
So jumping into that, would you think like cereal is like a soup?
No,
Why not?
cereal. I mean,
But why not?
Isn't soup supposed to be hot? And wouldn't it be labeled as a soup if that was the case?
That is true. That is true.
I'm just saying. I mean,
I would consider it a soup.
I think you need therapy, man. Speaking of which, do you think everybody should do you think everybody should do therapy at least once in their life?
For sure. I think therapy is really, really key. I think especially with everything going on in the world right now, I think everybody should take an hour throughout the week and do therapy. I'm a huge fan of mental health.
Sure.
I do think I am a fan of different type of therapies. Like,
So what do you do personally? Because we can't speak for everybody else. Like for you, like I'll tell you what I do and you can tell me what you do.
me, I speak on a lot of past trauma.
Okay.
So, to like kind of get into, not too much to it, but I speak on a lot of past trauma that, that are in the result of my actions, how old I am right now. So
Sure.
when I actually do speak about things growing up, now I have an explanation or a reason why I'm doing it at this age. I mean, I'm older, but I always try to like figure out. But I was reading something where it says you're not an adult until you're in your 30s.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
starting to feel that for sure. I'm
So,
31. I feel like life starts to make sense when you get to 30.
Yeah, so I mean, I think personally, me, like when you actually really go into like therapy and you really and you really express yourself and things like that, I think at the end of the day, it's a huge journal. But also too, I think therapy can be from calling your friend, talking on the phone for 2 hours, 3 hours, just venting,
Right.
or you having that girl that you could just express yourself, and,
Sure.
and it's a judge free zone. But what type of therapy?
I think for me, like you could pull up the clip too. I did a podcast for I Am Athlete, and I spoke about doing therapy for the first time while I was in Chicago. And I had that mental breakdown out in California when we were playing the Lakers and Clippers, and the rest of those. I think we played Portland or something too. And I was explaining to Brandon Marshall, I'm like, yo, like going to therapy like saved my life, and for a few reasons. And I'm one to keep everything to myself. I was always taught growing up, like, the less people know about you, the better. Keep everything to yourself. Like, you don't want nobody using nothing against you later on if something goes bad. And to this day, I'm still pretty bad with it too. Like, I have a hard time opening up, and it's something I'm trying to work through, because I feel like you'll never have an organic relationship if you don't, share things with people. Like, it's always going to be surface, and you'll never get that deep level of connection with somebody. I think that's for me personally. It may be different for everybody else. And the reason why I say that is because I've gone through relationships, whether it's friends or romantic, where like I'll know so much about this person, and I guarantee you if I test them on something, unless you're like people like Tail, who I've grown up with, or people I've been with from like day one, if you're just meeting me like even in the past decade, and I were to ask you questions, I can guarantee you probably wouldn't know the answers to them. Because I won't tell you.
So are you saying in the sense of people figuring you out?
Yeah. Or I'm more of like, you just have to watch me to understand me. Like, I won't tell you. Like, you have to watch my mannerisms, my movements, like how I talk or how I say certain things or how I react to certain things. Because if you don't, unless you ask me, I probably won't say anything. I'll try to figure you out before you try to figure me out.
But you don't think that creates like an issue, like especially as far as like, with friendship, family? I mean, family might be different because family grew up with you. So they kind of, your mom, your sister, brothers, or, uncle grew up with you. They can probably tell you, hey, listen, like, okay, I know he's mad right now, right? Or I know at the end of the day, that bothers him, right? It's just, they could just tell by a certain tone, facial feature,
right, or
body language, right? But let's just say when you're dating, right? You're dating, and let's say you're 9 months in, it's getting a little pretty serious, right?
Yeah.
Cool. And this woman, she's still learning you, right? In a sense, right? And you haven't really told her about, past childhood stuff growing up. So she just sees you for right now.
That's a rare occasion. Like, I could probably count on like one hand how many times I've spoken about my past life with a
right. So
partner.
do you think when you start doing certain things, right, or certain actions, or
I'd have to explain myself.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right.
So that's usually when you'll get it. But like, I feel like when you, and I won't even just use myself, I'll say when you date somebody that is in the public light or have some sort of success, like, you almost like walk on eggshells with them. Like, I feel that when I talk to people. Like, it's like, you can ask me, but like, if you feel something, like, if I can say something, like, I'm not gonna bite you, I'm not gonna be mad, I'm not gonna stop talking to you for you asking me why I did something a certain way or why I think the way I think. And that's usually where it comes down to, where I'm like, if you don't feel comfortable enough to ask me, why would I share it with you? And that's a sick way to think. And it is. It's
kind of unfair though.
It is unfair. It is unfair because that's just how I was brought up, bro. I can't help it. That's like, it's been embedded in my mind growing up. Like, yo, the less people know, the better. And if you feel like it's somebody that you can share it with, they'll find a way to get it out of you. But I'm trying to work through that trauma of like making it a game for somebody essentially to figure me out.
But let's just say the roles reversed, right? Like the roles reversed, right? Let's say, a woman, right? Like, she's expressed herself to you, right?
Right.
And I think,
I mean, it's not I'm not saying I'm a fucking closed book, bro. Like, I share things with my.
Like it, right?
It does sound like it. I'm not really making myself sound like I'm pretty open, but I'm fairly open with partners and friendships and things like that. Like, I will express enough. I'll give you just enough to where I feel comfortable, if that makes sense.
Understand.
So I'm not saying I won't tell you nothing, but I will give you just enough to make you feel like you're involved somehow.
But are you not afraid of like the judging that comes after that, like the judgment?
Sometimes,
right?
Sometimes, and that's the tricky part, because like, what goes back to what I was brought up with, like, the less people know, the better. Because if they bring it up again, and you don't want them using it against you, then it comes to that kind of thing too.
I feel like I always get like in a debate when people always say this is a judge-free zone, because I think as human beings we're just always going to judge.
You're always judging.
We're always going to judge. No matter what.
It doesn't matter what you say. If somebody says it's a judge-free zone, you're lying.
So what do you do in a situation like that? Like, say a woman opens up to you and she tells you something and you're like, shit, like everything was going good until I heard that, right? Now, do you hold that against her?
No. Yes and no.
What do you mean? Yes and no.
So to answer that, I'm no one to judge. So we'll start with that. I can't judge anybody. I can't say that you can't live a certain way, you can't have a past, you can't do certain things, and I'm nobody to say nothing like that because we all have a past, right? And for me, there's some things that people will say, and I'm like, that's gonna stick in the back of my mind for a little bit. Like,
I'm gonna be
it's gonna keep replaying. Like, and then I start becoming hyper focused on that one thing, and I'm like, all right, let me figure out this person is still this way, or is it something they're still working through?
Okay.
So if they're still working through it, the lines get kind of gray. But if it's something that they've worked through and they found a way to to cope with it and work through it, then I gotta leave that one alone. It is what it is. I mean, we all have a past. I have a past. You have a past. He has a past. Everybody has a past.
For sure. Yeah.
Or she has a past. Excuse me.
Yeah, I agree with that. But I think at certain times, it's like I tell everybody, I think like people say, oh, my past doesn't determine my future, and I think it does.
Yes, it does.
I think it does. I think it's 100% does, right? Because like you don't want to be in a situation where it's kind of like, damn, I look like a fool right now, right?
No, for sure. I don't know, man. Life is just it's a tricky thing, man. You know. And like I'm starting to catch on to what my mom used to say as a kid. Like when I was a kid, like, make sure that, you be careful what you do. Don't do nothing too crazy because like this shit will come back. No matter what you do in the past, it's gonna come out at some point in time, whether it's tomorrow, the next day, 5 years, 10 years, a decade, when you're dead, at some point in time, it's gonna come to the light. So that's why I kind of move the way I move too, and I try to stay out of it's hard to stay out of the light, obviously, because I am who I am, but I try to keep my personal life out of the public light because I don't want that to be a judgment of anything I do later on in life. And that's not even a relationship, just in life, anything. Like even being caught out drinking or like even being caught out of hookah or something like that. Something as small as that, I take that and try to eliminate that headache.
Wow. Yeah. So since we're speaking about, judge stuff with that, next question would be like, do you think men and women can actually really, really be friends?
Is she gay?
Well, no.
No, I mean,
she's not gonna go play basketball with you, like help you work out.
I mean, I think I could personally. I have female friends that I would never dare touch. Though I think it's difficult for sure. I mean, as men and as it depends. It depends. I mean, everybody has different types, man. It depends on what you're looking for in a friendship. Like if you really want to seek a friendship with somebody, you'll keep it as a friendship. But if you're doing it just to see if you can get it done, then there's other ways to do it. I mean, I can't speak for everybody. I think for me personally, I think you can, just depending on how respectful that friendship is. Like there can't be any gray areas. Like it's got to be like, this is what this is. Like we got to dap up. I don't even want to hug you type of thing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like we got to keep it super arm's length.
I think like I would have to grow up with you.
For sure.
I would have to grow up with you. I would have to see you at a...
And that's usually where a lot of my women friends are from, like people I went to middle school, like high school.
Anything other than that, I don't think is possible.
Especially nowadays for both of us. I mean, especially for what we've accomplished in life. Like it's hard to even like work with women in certain fields.
Yeah, I don't think anything. I don't think, because I think all relationships starts off as friendships.
Of course.
So it's like you're drawn to that person, and
somehow, some way, for whatever reason, that's on you.
Exactly. So I don't really think like, hey, all right, we could just really be friends and it'll be great. I don't think it would stay. I don't think it will stay that way. I think at some point you're going to come to a point where it's like, oh, okay, we tried it and it didn't work, or it's always going to be in the back of your head, like
then there's a chance. Like, what if?
Yeah.
What if?
Have you been in a situation like that?
Yeah, man. It's
the sigh was like, it's a hurtful. It was a hurtful one.
Like I said, it's hard. It's hard, man. It's hard, especially nowadays too, because you never know what anybody's motive is. And I think I said this last episode too. Like, if your net worth can be Googled, bro, like it's hard to like find genuine people. It's hard, regardless of how cool the approach is, or how they come up to you, how they speak to you, how they say they don't care about what you do. subconsciously everybody knows what you're doing, and
But like, what do you do to separate that?
you can't.
Like how do you filter out who's really for you?
That's a sacrifice that you make when you decide to get to that level of success. Like you sacrifice normalcy. Like we can't go to like Dave and Buster's without being stopped every 5 minutes. Like if we were to go there and go play games, it'd be impossible.
Yeah,
we can't do anything.
Yeah.
If we were to go to like a restaurant, regardless of it being a public space, somebody's gonna stop me. So those are the type of things that you give up for that level of success, to put your family, your kids, and everybody that you love in a position to be set forever.
Gotcha.
And I'm cool with it though. You know, sometimes I do wish I had like a level of normalcy sometimes, but I feel like as the years go on, I'm like, I gotta kind of just accept this. Like it is what it is. Like I can't do normal things. I can't. Like I can't go skiing, snowboarding. I can't go skydiving. I can't go whitewater rafting. I can't do shit that people do for fun. There's a price. There's a price that comes with it if I do it.
Even going to the grocery store.
I love going to Target. I take my kids there all the time, but it sucks. I get stopped all the time. Like I love going to Target for no reason. I be in Target buying a bunch of stupid shit just for no reason. Like I'll go in there and buy 16 different face cleansers, buy a bunch of soaps for no reason I probably won't use for a month later. I'll get a bunch of shampoos and conditioners, all type of just nonsense just because it's there. I'm like, damn, there's so much stuff here that I can just get.
No, I got you. So I have a few questions from Twitter.
From Twitter?
Yeah, from Twitter.
Who the hell did you ask on Twitter for questions?
I asked people to send me questions for today's podcast.
I'm curious.
And so one of the questions it's a relationship question. When do you think is a good time to post your partner on Instagram, on social media?
Never. I learned that lesson the hard way. I learned that lesson the hard way. Well, are we talking about me or just in general? Because there's two answers for that.
I wouldn't hear both.
For me, I'll speak for me personally first. I'm not doing that shit until like I'm done playing basketball. I'm fucking 20 pounds over playing weight. I'm outside playing with my kids. Like the white picket fence life is when I'll even consider doing something like that. Excuse me. I don't care to have people in my personal life. Because once you open that door, then opinions start to matter. And then people start to bleed into your life and say, oh, you guys should be doing this, or damn, I seen them out doing this. Like your private life goes to shit once you public with your significant other. And then God forbid you and that person don't work. And now everybody has an opinion on why you guys didn't work. And who wants to go and explain, oh, well, we didn't work because it just didn't work. Like nobody's trying to do that. So for me, I'd rather keep my personal life private because I've noticed that it's better for my sanity, because not everybody can handle that public. Because usually the people I date aren't people that are in my realm. I try to stay out of my realm. I can't do that shit, bro. It's too superficial. It's too much. I can't.
You don't think that'll probably make it a little bit more easier for you though, when you have somebody that can understand?
Because not everybody thinks like me though in this realm.
Yeah.
Because some people love the attention of that, of whether it's good or bad. Because as Eazy-E would say, all publicity is good publicity. So I'd rather not even I'd rather not even do it, to be honest. I'd rather just live a happy life with my partner, and if people see us out, they see us out. But I'd rather not do the whole fucking TikTok relationship, Instagram.
But what if she requires that validation? What if she's like, what if she wants that?
That's not my problem. If you require that validation, then we're not gonna work. I work too hard to settle for anything less than what I want. Obviously, I want to do what my partner wants to. Like, it's a two-way street, 50-50, obviously. But when it comes to, like, there's non-negotiables for me. Like, I don't desire to be on the front of somebody's Instagram. I don't care about that shit, bro. Like, if somebody catches us out, cool. But, like, to every week posting, oh, look at us, we're at fucking Target together. Like, I don't care about that. I don't care about that kind of stuff,
so
bro.
You
like,
don't want to do, like, the YouTube channels, like, you and your
I would do that with my kids before I did that with my partner, personally.
Okay.
Am I against it? I don't know. Right now, today, I'm not doing that.
Gotcha. Okay. I think at some point you have to, right? Like me, I think
that's
like
what I said later on. I'm not. We're talking as of today. Today, I'm not doing that.
Yeah, but we're not. But even then, we gray hair, 20 pounds
come
over.
on. Yeah, man, come on.
It's over.
Nobody
At
gonna
that
care
point-
about me then. Nobody gonna- I mean,
Alright.
shit. Who knows? I mean, obviously, I want to get into TV and film too, so I'm gonna be entertaining for life. So who knows?
But would you be opposed to her posting you on social media?
I still don't want it. I don't. I guess not even the fact that I'm trying to like hide the fact that I'm with this person. It's more so that like, what validation do you really need? If we know what it is, why does your 15,000 or 20,000, 100,000 followers need to validate what we are? I don't care to prove nothing to nobody. Like if I'm giving you my time, I got a lot of shit going on, bro. I do a lot of different things on a daily basis. Like I'm never staying. If I get to take a nap for like 4 hours, that's fantastic. But I'm always doing something. Like I'm always thinking about something. I'm always trying to find the next thing to do. And if I give you that side of me where you get to see that and you get to be with me, you get to indulge in a lifestyle that I live, why does somebody that you post on Instagram for have the right to live that same life as you when I already chose not to give them that light before?
Gotcha. So next one we have Twitter was.
You about to ask me something crazy?
I'm really not. No, it's a family wholesome call. I'm not.
What you got?
So, you being a father, right? Like you have, beautiful young boys.
Right.
So, when is a proper age, right, for your boys
To date?
to date, or start, becoming into manhood with women? That birds and the bees talk.
I feel like I just had a conversation with somebody about was it you was talking to about my daughters?
We were on the sprinter.
We were talking about my
But
daughters, right?
she's different. She's at 30 years old.
Right.
She's at
Yeah,
30.
she has, and my daughter can't date for
Yeah,
a while.
that's
well,
30.
her mom said 18. I'm saying like 21.
That's 30. Yeah, she's
At least 21.
she's
in my eyes.
delusional.
Yeah, she's not thinking
Yeah,
clearly.
It's 30.
I say 21 for my daughter. I think she has a beautiful life ahead of her. I think she has so many different talents and so many things that she can do before dating. Almost like what I did, man. I mean, I had a girl I dated in high school, but like I wouldn't even really call it that. I was so focused on basketball. We were damn near pen pals. Like I was always in the gym working out, and she went to a whole nother. Huh?
Side question. Think about it. Would you let your daughter date an athlete?
Hell no.
Why not?
Hell no.
Would you let your daughter date?
Hey.
Why not?
Funny story. My sister might kill me for this too. I'm not gonna say the person she wanted me to hook her up with earlier in my career. This was maybe 2016 or 17, right when she graduated college. And I got a text from my sister one day. And she was like, I got a weird favor for me. I'm like, what's up? She's like, I want you to hook me up with somebody. So immediately I'm sitting up straight in my chair. I'm like, well, who? So I'm like, it's gotta be somebody I know if you ask me if you want me to hook you up with somebody.
Yeah.
So she sends me the guy's name. I'm like, fuck no. I said, absolutely not. I said, no. I said, absolutely not. I said, I love the guy to death. I think he's a great dude. It was early in his career, too. I think it's maybe his second or third year in the NBA. So they were about the same age. And he is now one of the biggest stars in the league right now, too. So
Okay.
my point to that is I've been in this league for a very long time.
So you won't let your daughter date an athlete at all?
You can go date a soccer player, a cricket player, rugby, golf.
Basketball, no.
Basketball is a no-fly zone.
Jeez.
I can't do. I know everybody, and everybody knows me, so I don't want that. I don't want it. I can't allow it.
So what about your boys, right? So at what age can they actually start?
My boys are gonna be prisoners to basketball. They can't even think about dating until they get to the point where they're set.
Okay.
Because I don't want them to feel like they don't have to work hard. It's different between boys and girls. 'Cause obviously you don't have kids too, so like the mentality that I have for my boys, I didn't have a dad growing up, right?
Okay.
So I'm pretty much going off on a whim of like how I need to raise my boys, but also taking some of the characteristics my mom instilled in me as a kid too. So I'm taking that and what I think and kind of meshing it together. And what I view for my boys, I want them to be strong, man. I want them to be able to have their own. Not that I won't be there if they need me, but I want them to have their own. I want them to feel what it's like to work for what they want. Because I had to do it.
Yeah, but I mean, you don't think you don't think like they would actually need an interaction, a social life with?
Oh, for sure. They can have
Yeah.
all the friends you want. I mean, that's after you're done doing
Yeah.
what you need to do first.
You don't want them to be the weirdos in the corner.
No, of course not.
Never
No.
talk to a girl.
I want them to still be personable. I still want them to be them. I want them. I mean,
Yeah.
you know my boys. They all have personalities.
Nah,
they're
yeah,
gonna
yeah.
they're gonna be fine. They won't lack in the personality department.
Yeah.
I think they'll be just fine when it comes to that. But I also want them to just focus. Like it all comes later.
Got you. So, speaking about the boys, college basketball, right? Let's jump into this NIL, stuff.
NIL deals.
NIL deals, right?
That's crazy. I did a bunch of research today too. I was looking at it, and I had a crazy question that popped up on my Twitter about, do I think the NIL is ruining college basketball?
Oh yeah, wow, yeah.
I think it is personally. You tell me what you think.
Yeah, no, I think NIL deals are messing up for smaller colleges.
Yeah, it's making it very difficult.
I think it's very difficult for smaller colleges,
like the mid majors, the Ivy League schools. Yeah.
Also, what it's doing is also too is I feel like NIL deals is not really able to. It's not spreading out the talent, right? So remember, like when we was in NBA, and
like all the stars are going to
like
one
the first
place.
big three, we was like, well, what is this, right? Like, so I think that's what it's doing, and I think
I think as time goes on, it's going to get worse. So you're going to start seeing like super teams in college.
Yeah, you're going to have like all top recruits
going to one place,
all at one school, and it's going to be like there's no competition no more.
But then you got to think about the money aspect too, like who's sacrificing. That's where it gets tricky.
What do you mean who's sacrificing? Like, and what?
Because you got to think, like I was also putting this in perspective too, because the schools could only allot so much money. You know what I mean? Like,
okay, I didn't know that. Yeah, I wasn't a student athlete.
Yeah. So, I mean, I didn't get this shit. I mean, I wish it, man. If I was getting NIL deals, being the number one player in the nation,
yeah,
the best player in the country to go to UConn, man, my NIL deal would be crazy. But I think there's only so much money that schools can give. It's not like the NBA,
okay,
where like you get like a yearly salary, like you get what you get, whatever it is that year, or whatever, however long you decide to stay in school. So I think like Cooper Flag got like $5 million. And I think the next guy got like 100 or anything less than that. So it's like, how many stars can you really get to come to that school for less money? Because then it becomes like, what's your priority now? Is it the money or are you trying to win?
But I think it's always been about winning. Right? I think the schools has always built.
I think
programs.
the schools are worrying about winning. I think some of these players are worrying about where they can get the most money from, and that's where things start to get tricky.
Yeah, but isn't that always been the game since growing up, right? Like you hear these parents out here, they raising their kids like now I see a lot of Instagram highlights and reels and even coaches.
Everybody has a highlight. I seen a fifth grader have a highlight the other day.
Right, and I'm watching these kids. Yeah, I'm watching these kids, and I think Rich Paul said these kids are too. I think it was him. They're too drilled out, right? Like they're doing
right.
They're doing
like robots,
drills, right? Like robots, right? But do you not think the parents are actually grooming their children to hit those $100 million, $200 million contracts, right?
For sure.
The money is the end game for it.
But it's not really the kids' fault. It's really the parents that are pushing for it. If you really think about it like this. You played basketball growing up. All you thought about was basketball. You're not thinking about. I mean, you think about your main prize is to make money with the game. Obviously, like damn, I could probably be this, that, and the third, make X, Y, and Z amount of money. But your main priority is like getting better at this game.
Yeah.
Right. And I think nowadays parents are like taking that as a job now to like kind of pimp their kids out to these different people. It's kind of crazy to think about because like I'll give you a story. I remember when I was a junior, this is my last year in high school. I was a junior in high school and I just finished doing nationals and Adidas calls my AAU coach and says, hey, we want to send Andre, a bunch of shoes, gear and stuff like that, because they're trying to groom me to come to them when I go to the NBA, right?
Yeah.
And I remember when the message got to my mom and I was sitting there, she's on the phone with my high school coach and they're like, nah, we're good.
Wow.
I looked at her, I said, what? I said, nah, I'm not good. I don't got no shoes. I wear 18 at fucking 16 years old. I need this.
Yeah. I'm tired of ordering from East Bay.
East Bay was my I love East Bay. If I can get a deal with East Bay, I will take it because
East
you
Bay's-
guys have saved my life from
Facts.
childhood
Facts.
to college.
Facts.
Like getting those $25 shoes. You know, I used to get like 4 pairs
What?
of those and be
You
straight.
get in the magazine, and you're like, and you
Yo, the
call
magazine
with the
was crazy.
SKU
I had to
number, with the
call to
SKU?
get it.
Oh my god, it was over.
I had to wait in line for hours to get shoes.
Yeah.
So like, the point I'm making is like to hear Adidas call and say, you know, they want to give me gear and this, that, and the third, to like now they're offering players millions,
Yeah.
16-year-olds, 17-year-olds, 18-year-olds, millions of dollars before they've ever even worked at Wendy's or McDonald's. It's become like a business. If you really think about it, like parents are really taking this NIL stuff and like this recruitment stuff as like they're quitting their jobs to
Focus.
focus on
100%.
solely on this. Like they're
Yeah.
not even like they stopped working. Like, you know, we got to find out how we can make my son this millionaire so we can also live vicariously through him or her. Because we're not going to discredit, you know, take away from the women too. Because there's some dope women basketball players that are
Sure.
getting paid a lot of money right now. Speaking of which, you know, Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark, I think their era of basketball really.
Nah, they.
And that's not to take away from the OGs of the WNBA. I'm gonna say this here on camera. Maya Moore is one of my favorite WNBA players
God.
ever. UConn
Yeah.
alum.
Yeah.
She's definitely a pioneer of WNBA.
Yes.
You know, Diana Taurasi. You know, Elena Della Don. I mean, I can go down the list of all these
Yeah.
amazing players that play in the WNBA. But I think in terms of pop culture and, you know, what's current, I think those two players have done a really good job of bringing a little bit of life to the WNBA. Because I watched this, I mean, I've watched the WNBA before, but like now, I'm eager to watch their games. I'm like, damn, something interesting gonna happen now.
Yeah, I love them because I think they're outspoken.
Very outspoken.
Like they're outspoken, and we don't really.
You didn't really see that.
Yeah, we
Well,
didn't see that before.
I'll take that back. I think a lot of the players were outspoken, but I think there's so much light on that now because we're in a social media era, and I think and that's really where it lies now. Because I think back then, even if like those players, like I said, like Maya Moore and them, because Maya Moore spoke out, she took a whole couple of years off
She
from
did,
basketball.
Yeah.
I think if social media was a big thing back then, I think the WNBA would have been bigger then too. But I think as time goes on, pioneers like them help pave the way for this new generation, which is super dope too. And I think they definitely deserve their flowers too. But yeah, I think we're just in an era, man, where sports has become
A business.
a social media trend in the business.
Yeah. So do you think the NIL deals are, well, if kids are being paid, right?
Right.
Like, it's their jobs to win. Do you think they should be considered employees of the university? Do you think they I mean, they're still students because
I mean, they're still students, so I think it's hard to even, you know, mesh those two together. But they essentially are employees. If you really think about it, they're getting paid a decent amount of money from, you know, these brokers, the schools, and whoever else decides to invest in the school. I think me and you just talked about it, that who was it that just gave money to their schools?
I think James Harden, Trae Young.
Yeah, James Harden and Trae Young gave money to Oklahoma. James gave money to Arizona State. So I think this NIL thing is gonna really like skyrocket to like somewhere. It's gonna take away from the NBA game, and it kind of goes into my next thing. Like, do you think the transfer portal is ruining like college culture?
100%.
I think so too.
I think 100%. The reason why I say that is because I think it's messing up the actual, like, the loyalty behind it, right? So, like, prime example, you may have a kid who plays great one game, and I was getting to the point of going, okay, I played great this one. Yeah,
you just tell me a story. What school was that again? You just tell me about? I can't remember what it was.
I forgot. I think the coach was like, he was going to retire. He was going to leave.
Right.
Because the students were just
everybody was leaving
mid-season, like right after the game. Yo, I'm going to transfer portal, right? And I feel like what it does is it messes up the loyalty of it because it's like, okay, you have one good game,
right? And all of a sudden, like, yeah, I'm gonna go try to go to West Virginia or go to Kentucky because I played one good game.
Or you have a great player and he's like, oh, okay, you know what?
There's not enough here. I gotta get out of here.
Yeah, you know, I don't like how this coach is talking to me, whatever he's doing, what he's trying to show me. I'm out of here, right? So I think the transfer portal is definitely messing it up.
I think it needs to be tightened up a little bit. I don't think it should be so easy for players to just leave. You have to have a reason to leave. You can't just leave because you feel like you deserve to be somewhere else. Like, or like you're not. If a school's offering you more money, cool. I don't see an issue with that. But if you're just getting up and leaving because you don't like the way your coach told you to go run laps because you did something wrong, or like it's too easy to just get up and quit. Like what happened to like the integrity of starting at a university and trying to help this university win? You know?
No, I agree. I think with like the camaraderie and the loyalty of the students, I think it's getting to the point of going, all right, well, you know what? I'm not really liking it here. I want to leave. I don't want to, the kind of coach is talking to me or the staff. It's becoming to the point of going like, I can just go anywhere and be great. Right. But I
Right.
want to ask you, when you were in college, right?
Mhm.
I kind of know before, but it was when you went to a college, it was, you got your full ride scholarship for them 4 years, right? It was
Right.
like, cool.
No, I didn't actually.
No,
I paid for school.
No, oh,
Yeah.
we know the best walk on there.
Come on, ever.
We
Come
know
on,
the
come on. Say
story.
it with me now. Say
We
it
know the
with me
story,
now.
but-
The best walk on to ever
But I want to
step on
say,
the college campus.
was it your class or was it a class before you where they introduced where
The one and done rule.
the one and done? No, not the one and done rule. Where every year you got reevaluated for your scholarship, right? So it wasn't no more like, let's say if I was going to UConn, I was like, okay, cool, I got a full ride to UConn all
Right.
4 years, right? Then every year, I think it was a rule. Every year after that, it was like, okay, well, next year we're gonna reevaluate your scholarship, right? You're gonna come through back for an interview, you know.
Well, I wouldn't say it's a reevaluation. It's more so like in my situation, I can only speak on my situation. So for me, like when I declared to go to UConn, right, they had no more scholarships because they just gave their last scholarship to DeAndre Daniels.
Okay, yeah.
Because our freshman class was me, Ryan Boatwright, DeAndre Daniels, and why am I drawing a blank? He was also a walk-on too because he didn't get a scholarship. He's from Connecticut, from West Haven. But anyways, it'll come to me later. And I remember I was the last one to declare, and they were saying, "Hey, we can take DeAndre Daniels' scholarship and give it to you because obviously you're the number one player in the nation, and we'll obviously
Accommodate,
yeah, we'll accommodate that. We don't
Gotcha.
want you paying for school, bro. Like you're the best player in the country. That's insane."
Yeah.
And just to hear that schools are able to just say, you know what, we like this guy better, we'll take your scholarship.
Yeah.
It didn't sit right with me. And I didn't take it. I was like, you know, I'm good, man. I'll just take this loan out, you know, pay that whatever $25,000 or $30,000 it was at the time, which was a lot of money for
Top player in the country with student loans is crazy.
insane. Insane to think about, right?
It's crazy.
Insane. So, you know, my mom was like, you know, that we both were just like, it just doesn't sit right with us morally for us to
That's beautiful. Yeah.
take this kid's scholarship who also worked just as hard and turned out to be one of my best friends in college. Like me and DeAndre were inseparable at
Nice.
school. Like we were together all the time, every day. Still talk to this day. He's doing well. He's playing overseas, and yeah, I didn't want to do it. It didn't
Gotcha.
sit right with me to take a scholarship and to go into what you were saying. Like college is really a business too, if you think about it. It's really a mini like MBAs. Like people can get their scholarships taken. People can get, you know, sat down and
Yeah.
forced to go to a different school. I mean, there's a lot that goes into it.
So you having young boys now. So would you, in a sense, right, with so many different leagues out there, like you have the overtime, right, and
Right.
you have the Ignite, right? You have a lot of different leagues, or you even have overseas. You could do a LaMelo Ball, right? Would you actually really
Consider that?
push your young boys to go to college, or would you make them say, okay, cool, you know what, go here, G League, and then we're in the NBA. That's their main goal. Right?
Honestly, it really depends on their skill set and their level of competition when they're in high school. I got a long way for that. I mean, they're not even in elementary school yet, so I think we have some time to really put some thought behind that.
Yeah.
My initial thought is for them to go to college because I want to go to college games and see my kids play in college. Like that's like I want to see them in March Madness. Like I want to see that. Like I want to be a
Gotcha.
part of that. Like, I want to see them win.
Gotcha.
But on the other side of the coin, if there's a point where their level of play is like up here, I don't mind taking them and sending them overseas for a year and then have them come over for the draft.
Gotcha. But so speaking of that, do you think like they should bring back the one and done rule?
No, I don't think they should bring it back. And the reason why I feel that way is because, for what? Because there are some players that are really good. And it's a risk you take too. But I think what they did incorporate is if you don't get drafted, you can go back to school, which I think
Yeah.
is really cool
Yeah.
because there is a lot of stories of players that come out and declare a draft and they give up their collegiate eligibility, and they can't go back to school after that. They're kind of stuck in the mud.
Gotcha.
So I think it's really cool that they added that piece to the draft. Now, like if you don't get drafted or you don't go where you want to go, you can go back to school. And prime example is one of my players that I had at the top 100 camp, Thomas Sober. He got hurt. You know, he tore his Achilles, if I'm not mistaken, and it was out pretty much the rest of the year. But he declared for the draft. But he also said, "Listen, guys, if I don't go where I want to, I'm coming back." It was in his public statement that he put out. Like I'm gonna try for the draft and try to go in. I think he'll be very good right now too. He's a big body, super skilled, can shoot the ball.
Yeah.
I feel like I talk about him a lot because he reminds me of myself.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Like I always use him as an example. Like I'm really excited to see what he does at the next level. 'Cause I think he has a chance to be very special.
Got you. So I want to jump into a popular topic that's throughout the whole world, right? I think AI.
Yeah.
So I want to ask you, being an NBA player, right? And you're actually in the times of when we are seeing AI growing, technology and things like that, right? Like I think we were in the gym and it's this machine that tells you,
Yeah, Noah.
I'm literally watching every basketball switch, and it's like not a perfect shot. And I'm like, it's to the human eye, it's a perfect shot, right? So to me, that's something like AI, right? But I wanted to ask you, like, do you see AI being incorporated into basketball with the players, fans? Do you see it being something that's really going to be monumental? Or is it only going to be as far as like, you know,
like those
graphics, just little cool stuff? But do you see it actually being something implemented on the court, in coaching and things like that?
I mean, it's already happened. The Warriors have these AI like assistants at their facility. I don't know if you've seen that video.
I haven't.
Maybe we could pull the clip up and put it in the thumbnail. But there's a video of the Warriors working with this guy that has created an AI like rebounder, passer, like to where like the precision is insane. Like if you miss a shot, like it'll get there. Like it's not gonna bounce more than twice. Like it's gonna get there, rebound the ball, and pass it back to you. So AI is something that's already being used, and it's starting to really start to climb more. Like starting to get really insane. Like when I was watching that video, I'm like, imagine this thing decides to just haywire and like start pegging me with balls. I'm like, damn, like
what has a glitch, right?
Yeah, I think AI is really starting to take over everything. Like it's starting to become so accessible. Even like with ChatGPT, like even today, like I asked it a random question, and the fact that it was able to break it down in like Cliff Notes.
Yeah.
And I'm able to just read it so easily. I'm like, damn, I wish I had this when I was in high school. Like I did really well in high school. Like I was very, very bright in school, but if I had something like this in school.
What?
Man, what?
Yeah. So do you think like with AI, like it being implemented in basketball, right? Have you seen it being used with like, you know, as far as like stats, right? Because you guys get a sheet unless you know each player, you know, and I've seen it before because sometimes it's on the floor after the game,
right?
And unless you know, okay, this person is shifty, you know, they're strong going their left, their shots, right? But is there something where now do you start seeing where AI, you guys are depending on AI technology more than actual really?
That's a great question.
Experience,
and I think honestly, we're starting to become still dependent of data instead of the human eye. So like people will be judged based off what their data is instead of like what they can physically see them do. And I've seen it happen so much. Like a certain guy will do something. I'm like, nah, you shouldn't take that shot. You're shooting. The data says you're shooting 38 from here, but you're shooting 42 from this spot. You should shoot from there more. I'm like, I get you. I know all about percentages. I get it. It's about percentages and where you're shooting from. But like, there's nothing like the human eye of watching somebody physically do something. And it's become so data heavy that it's starting to ruin like basketball essentially, because you got these nerds who never played basketball before come in who are very, you know, tech savvy on the computer and can pull up all this data. I'm like, yo, this guy is he goes 60% right, and when he spins left, he shoots this amount of shots. It's like, who the hell's trying to break the game down like that? Just don't let this motherfucker go left. That's like that's it. Like we don't need to have all these different data.
But what does that do? Like what does that do as a player? And you see that, right? Like, and you're like, okay, I'm a player at the end of the day, right? So let's say you have a coach or an assistant.
It makes you start to overthink. Honestly, it makes you start to overthink a little bit because like when you keep hearing, you shoot this from there, like you got to get that number up, or you shouldn't shoot there because you're shooting at this number. It's like when you get to that spot, it's like, oh damn, I probably shouldn't probably shouldn't shoot this because I keep saying back in the day like I'm a fucking dinosaur, but the NBA was so different when I came in compared to what it is now because it's so 3-point heavy now.
Yeah.
And back when I was playing, in Detroit in like 2014, 15, 16, all the way up to 18 before I got traded, mid-range jump shots were like were gold. Like if you can make if you can make a midi, you're set. Like you're gonna last for a long time. Okay. And that's like a bad shot in basketball. Now, I even catch myself saying it now, like, yo, that's a horrible shot. Don't shoot that. But there's nothing wrong with a mid-range jump shot. Like it's a good shot. If you're open, shoot it.
I saw a post where they were talking about it and they said that like mid-range shots were like the worst shot you could take. It's like what was the point of taking that shot, right? And it's kind of
like why not? If you're open, why would you not shoot that shot? But it's been so embedded for like almost 6 to 7 years now. Like we got to shoot more threes. It's because I think the Warriors really truly ruined the style of play of basketball for a long time. And it's not even their fault. They found a way that worked for them, and by all means, fantastic. Steph Curry's the best shooter in the world. I think I've never seen somebody besides the only person I've seen in person before that was Ray Allen in person, who shoots the ball very well.
Yeah.
And I think what their team has done, other teams are trying to bite off it and mimic it. And y'all don't got fucking Steph Curry. So last night, prime example, I watched who the hell was it? I just tweeted this. Give me 2 seconds. And somebody shot 12 for 61 from 3. Utah.
Okay.
I was watching the Utah game last night. Who were they playing? Sac, right? They were playing Sac last night. Okay. So I'm watching the game, and I'm like, yo, let me check this stat sheet real quick because they're shooting a lot of threes.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at it. They're trying to catch up. So I'm looking at it. And I said, damn, they shooting 16 for 61 from 3. Like, that's unheard of.
Yeah.
Shooting that many threes, at least in my time. Like,
yeah.
Like shooting that many threes and like they were shooting 23% from 3. Like, come on, bro. Like
at some point it's like, all right.
Like how many threes are you gonna really take?
Yeah.
So I get it, like everybody's trying to get more threes up because obviously threes are more than 2. Obviously. So that's why they think the mid-range shot is so bad, but it's like a bucket is a bucket.
Yeah, but I think that's like where the game is transitioning to, where it's like, let's just throw it up. Like they see who could shoot the furthest. Let's see who can do the most craziest one leg 3-point shot. Like, I think I was speaking about it yesterday where, obviously, I watch basketball because I'm at your games or I watch it on TV. But if you really notice it nowadays, like nobody really watches a full game, right?
No, of course, it's all highlights.
It's highlights, right? It's highlights. So
it's hard to watch the game now because there's so much bad basketball. Like people just chucking up threes, coming down, running ISOs, not running the plays anymore, and the game it's just changed. And
yeah, I think
what are we gonna do?
I think
go with the wave.
I think in the sense of all that, I think like that's something that social media played a big part in, right?
Yeah,
I think social media is somewhat kind of
glazing. That's what they say nowadays.
Oh right? God, I obviously I hate that word. Like that's a crazy word right now.
Glazing, right?
But yeah, so I feel like social media has somewhat kind of like, I don't want to say made basketball terrible to watch, but it made it to a highlight machine where we only want to see the craziest
cool plays,
or we want to see the cool plays, right? We don't really want to watch a full game anymore, right? Where back in the day it was like, yo, 7 o'clock, Knicks is playing.
Everybody's watching.
I gotta watch it right now.
I'd rather watch at halftime.
Yeah, right.
I start watching at halftime. All right, this is when the game starts to get good.
Yeah. So, do you think social media really kind of boosted the game, or do you think it kind of?
I think it did both. I think it boosted the game in a positive way and a negative way because it's given so many people the light to judge.
Yeah.
Especially with this whole betting thing now too, like where people are doing their parlay stuff.
Yeah. How do you feel when you hear players say, scream at you from the bench and say, bro,
I need 4 more.
yeah, I need a rebound. I'm trying to like, well, like, what
like,
do you
yo,
really?
bro, like, I hate it, to be honest. I liked it when it was the way it was back then, where you could just bet in Vegas. Like, I feel like it's so accessible now. Like, I'll be with people and like people be on their phone all day, just
Yeah,
trying to see who's gonna do what today and like what bet they're gonna pull in. Like, people risking their savings and shit off of us, and it's like the game is a game of chance. I mean, it's a
Yeah.
game of skill, but like we ain't gonna make every shot.
yeah.
We're
do
not
you-
gonna grab every rebound. We're not gonna get every steal. So it's like the fact that you're gambling on something that you're not certain of
yeah,
is insane to me. But it's a $1 billion business. It's genius.
no, I agree with you. I think that falls in aspects of like I think like people are becoming too obsessed
Yeah,
with like basketball players and celebrities,
of course.
right? Like every day they're like trying to figure out like they're into aspect of they're DMing you, right? Like, or like, do you get those requests where it's like, I need 2 threes tonight, and it's like, bro, I got real life.
I got real shit going on right now. It's not even a game day. Why are you talking to me?
Yeah,
why
like
you talking
I don't care about
this
your $400 right now.
Yeah, I bet $100 on you to get 1,500. I said, well, shit, you should have bet on somebody else.
Yeah, but like, what do you think about that? Do you think like people are like too obsessed with like just celebrities? Period, though.
I think it's become like it's like a drug, bro. It's like a
Yeah.
high that people chase, especially when you win. Like I can see, like I've seen people like lose their mind, like winning a parlay. Like even if it's something small, it's like $5,000 not small. It's a lot of money, but like somebody winning 5K, and like they're on top of the world, and then it's like, all right, how can I do this next one? How can I win this next one?
It's an addiction.
And then you start going on a slump where you start losing, and your attitude start changing. You start changing. It's like, well, don't forget you got a day job too, bro. You like, yeah, don't take that out on us. Like,
Yeah,
this,
for sure.
this is on you.
No, I agree. I think like social media, I think people being obsessed with celebrities, I think is becoming more of like it makes like the game not fun to watch anymore, right? Because you have fans that say outrageous things. You got fans, but I also think social media made people feel like they live with you, right?
Right.
Like you know when you post all the time, or people you make it seem they're like random. Oh my god, your daughter's so beautiful, and it's like
Man, it'd be
like,
weird.
thank
when I
you,
hear
but it's
stuff,
like-
too.
now you're on a conversation about that, and it's like I created a friend. I have a friend now.
That's the doors you open though when you post your life on
Yeah,
social media.
no, I
You know,
got
we
you. So-
like we were just talking about like with relationships too. Like what you put out there, people gonna feel like they got that avenue to think they're your friend.
No, I agree. I think
But to switch things up a little bit,
Talk to
you
me.
sent me an article earlier today
okay.
about a hotel in space,
That was my
and
It's a rotating wheel.
would you do it?
Yeah, for sure.
What?
For sure. 100%. 100%. I would do it.
Why? You know how long that trip is? First of all, there's a couple things that go into
But did you hear
perspective.
what's on the rotating wheel? They have a beach. They have a
Who the hell is trying to go on the beach in space?
That's
You gonna
where
be
life
floating
is,
and
that's
shit.
where life is going now.
That's where life is going, to space?
Everything. Okay, so have you watched the show called Paradise?
No, I haven't. I need to. I think you told me about the show
Watch
too. I gotta
Paradise.
watch it.
It would.
It's gonna change my perspective.
Yes, it would make you really. It's like a dome, where everything.
This is a spinning wheel. It's not a dome.
But technically, is we're contained. Like we're in a. Like,
That's not a fucking dome, Skid.
It's not a dome, but we're
A dome
in,
is stationary, first of all, and it doesn't move.
Okay, well, we're on a rotating wheel in space. Obviously, we're not floating around in space. We're
Yeah, I
not
don't
floating
want
around.
that.
It's like a cruise ship.
Yo,
It's like a cruise ship. Think about it. It's like a cruise ship. So you wouldn't spend money to go on that actual.
Isn't it like
rotating wheel.
$500,000?
No, I believe the 500,000 is to go into. I believe Jeff Bezos has one. It's called the Blue Orbit. I'm not mistaken.
Oh, like his little pod that he got
yeah,
up there.
it's 500,000. You go into space.
Before I even answer that, do you even think it's actually in space?
You know my theory about that. I think space is.
It's in the
sea.
water.
It's the water. I don't think space is in the sky. I think that's
I don't think we can get out of here, to be personally honest.
get out of where.
Exactly. This thing that we're in.
Have you
Have you seen a rocket go up before?
No, I haven't. Like you talking about like my own like personal.
No,
eyes?
not with your own eyes, like on video.
Yeah, I've seen it on video.
Watch the
before.
video of
Yes.
like it goes like it doesn't go straight up. Like you see it curve. It's like it's hitting something.
I have to go back and watch it. I have to go back and watch it.
I'm a conspiracy nut. My TikTok is literally nothing but conspiracies about flat Earth.
Okay,
And
since you're speaking about that, right? What are 3 questions you would ask that you would need answers to?
if I had a chance to ask somebody in the government or of high clearancy, my first question would be: Is this reality real, or is this a simulation? That's my first heavy. I gotta ask that question right away.
And they have to answer. They
have to answer it. I need that answer. How do they keep aliens contained for so long if they're so advanced? Okay. Think about if they have more than what we have. What deal did you sign with these beings to for them not to take over our planet?
So the aliens came down right now and said, "Take me to your leader."
Take me.
You'll go. You will go.
Take me. I want to know. I mean, I'll be scared for sure, but I think I want to know. Well, actually, I would lie. I'll tell him to take you, and I'll just be I'll tell him to take him. Like, this is the leader, but I have to go as a chaperone.
I'm chilling. I'm watching TV.
I gotta watch from a distance, though. Yeah. I don't want to be up close and personal. My last question would be: did we really go to space? Because if you look at some of these pictures and videos, I just saw a video the other day. It was on this page. I follow this wealth page, and they post a bunch of random stuff. And Elon Musk posted a video of his little drone robot thing that's on Mars.
Yeah, those pictures are
great. That shit is as clear as day, 4K. And that shit looked like the Grand Canyon to me.
But look, you spend $500,000 and you can go and witness it.
The Mars is far as hell from here. I'm not going up there.
Why not?
That shit, I'm not gonna come back and tell them how long is that trip? Who knows?
So did you see the article where I think the astronauts, they were in space, I think an extra 9 months, right?
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
And then they were actually going to get paid overtime for it, and nobody told them no.
They're like, nah.
And I think Trump said,
that's not our fault.
Yeah, we will pay you overtime for that. But it's to think about being somewhere for 9 months. And
imagine we get stuck on that wheel, and we up there for you. That's 9 months. That's a long ass time.
And you're in space, so you're different. You're creating history.
I can't go anywhere. I can't leave. I can't go outside for a walk. I can't get no fresh air. If I breathe that shit, I'm dead. So it's over.
So that wouldn't be one of your bucket lists to go into space?
If it was real that we can go to space, I would take that trip.
But we don't know yet if it's not real.
I got to see a couple of people go up there first. As a matter of fact, I actually seen a Red Bull video of this girl who went up there, and it didn't look real because it cut as soon as it was time for her to go through the ozone layer. And then all of a sudden she's in fucking space, magically in space. So I was like, why cut that part of the video out?
You know what gets me though? I don't understand when they say all right, our satellites or stuff like that.
Right.
It's in space, right? It's when we on a plane and we're high up, our cell phones just automatically start to die out. It's but I'm the closest to it right now, I would think, right?
If the satellites are supposed to be right there, why is my phone still not working?
That's only one of my questions I would ask. Okay, is that really real?
That's actually, I didn't even think about that. That's genius, by the way. Well, also cell towers too is the reason why we have service.
True, but the signal.
It's true. It's supposed to be coming from up there. Yeah, a lot of questions that need to be answered to government. Yeah, figure that one. Figure that one out.
No, for sure. But I think overall, with everything going on, and to answer your question from the beginning, I think mental health would be is a necessity with everything going on with space and stuff like that. But my next question I really want to tackle into is where do you see the transition from with everything going on and in sports and in the world right now, right? Where do you see the transition going with basketball jumping into 20 years from now?
It's crazy you asked that. I just seen an article the other day that we're in talks that we're going to expand to Europe.
Okay.
And that would be insane. I would definitely want to be around for that. Just to, even if I wasn't playing, even if I was just on the coaching staff or just as a player coach, I would love to see what that would look like. Because if we did, and it seems like we are about to branch into going into the European League and making the league bigger, I think there's gonna be a lot of money to be made, because European money is a lot different than American money. I just seen somebody get $1 billion for 2 years, a soccer player.
Yeah, I think you told me that. Yeah.
That's bizarre.
No, you showed me that one. Yeah, that was crazy.
That was insane to get $1 billion for 2 years.
Yeah, and I think Kendrick Nunn just got a
crazy deal.
Got a crazy contract. Yeah, yeah.
And so speaking of crazy deals, so bucket list things. I've talked to you about this before too.
Okay.
When I'm done playing in the NBA, I'm going to play 2 seasons somewhere overseas. Just because.
No, seriously?
Why not?
Where?
Who the hell cares? Whoever's gonna pay me the most. That's where I'm at. I don't even care about winning at that point in time. I'm at least help the team to win. Like I always want to win. Let's not get that twisted. But whoever's gonna pay me the most, I'm going. There's a couple of things on my list. I didn't write them down, which I should have, because it's on my whiteboard. I didn't take a picture of it. But whatever. I'm gonna try to go off of memory. So one of them is to play overseas for 2 years after I'm done playing in the NBA.
Okay.
Just to say I did it, because I didn't get the experience of playing like in the G League or like having to work my way. I just happened to walk into a really good situation in Detroit where I played right away.
Yeah.
So I never got shipped to the G League or I had to like go play overseas or anything like that. So I want to experience what it's like to play for another team over across the water. My next one is to do the NFL Combine.
NFL?
Yes. Yes. Yo, hear me out. Hear me out.
But for like what position? Like what would you?
I mean, I played tight end and defensive end, and actually I lied. I played wide receiver and defensive end in high school. And I think I have a chance. I think basketball players have a better chance of transitioning into the NFL than an NFL player trying to come into the NBA. Personally.
Well,
I mean, tell me why not. I mean, have you seen an NFL player play basketball before? I have. You seen Myles Garrett play basketball before? That shit's disgusting.
It is.
It's just gross.
No,
but he's also very good though, which is also contradicting. But
I've also never seen a basketball player run a route.
We do that for fun. Think about like beach workouts. Like we do that all the time. Like we do that. Are we good at it? Are we as crisp as wide receivers are? I think it'd be easier for us to learn a route than for an NFL player to learn to play.
I think as a basketball player, you guys would be great at wide receiver.
Right. Tight end.
No.
Why not?
Wide receiver, quarterback.
For sure.
And I want to either say safety.
I could see the safety too, just because we know how to survey the floor.
Exactly. Quarterback, because you're gonna look over that line of defense. Offensive.
Yeah, we're all 6'4" and above.
Exactly.
Right.
Wide receiver, same thing. But we're talking about what, like.
But I will say this: I would hate, despise, loathe being blindsided. I would hate being hit like that. Like I've seen highlights of people getting cracked.
I think that should be like a segment where we take an NFL player, put him in the NBA.
Oh my God.
And we take an NBA player, put him in the NFL.
All-Star Weekend.
Yeah.
All-Star Weekend that'll be dope. If y'all take my idea, y'all better give me a percentage. NFL versus NBA All-Star Weekend. That would be something to watch.
So let's get this cleared up. You think it is easier for an NBA player to transition
Absolutely.
into NFL
no
than
question.
an NFL player going to the NBA?
You know how stiff NFL players are? And that's no knocking. Like they're more fluent in their sport than they would be in our sport. I think we'd be more fluent in their sport.
You probably got a guy like a Big Baby Davis.
Big Baby Davis probably would have a blast being a tight end. Or a defensive end or a nose tackle.
For sure. So also too, I have one last question from the Twitter people. They want to know, because we know you do music, right? So I always go back and forth with you with beats you select and stuff like that, right? And I still need my Central C track.
I know. I did it already though.
Yeah, but you didn't.
I did it, but didn't do it. Yeah, I did it, but didn't. I don't even
think
think I've heard that song since that day. I hated it so much.
So, we also have up here that people want to know your top 5
artists.
That's
tough. That's tough because I listen to so much music. I'll start from 5 to 1. My 5th, I gotta show love to one of my best friends in the world, who is an amazing artist who deserves more credit for what he does. Tails.
Okay.
If y'all want to hear some good music, I can't tell you when I listen to his music or why I listen to his music, but his music is played quite often on a nightly basis. His music is very smooth, calm, but he also has an edge to him as well too.
Okay.
I think he has a chance to be very special in this field of work. His break is coming. I already know it's coming. He has a project that's coming out very soon. And he sent it to me too, and he got some bangers on there. Not even just like R&B records, but he got like, he's on the other end too. He speaks Spanish too.
Okay.
So he got Spanish records too. Like, I don't know what he be saying. Like, I failed Spanish for 3 straight years in high school. Like, that wasn't my strong suit. But the flow is crazy. The beat is crazy. His knowledge of music is amazing, man. Like, I love his music so much. And that's not even just biased because he's my friend. It's because I truly support and love his music. 4, I would say Wiz Khalifa is one of my favorite rappers for sure.
Okay.
OG Wiz fan. 3, ASAP is up there for me. 2, Drake. And I got a crazy question for you after this too. Drake is he's definitely moved into my top 5 over the past couple of years.
Okay.
Just mainly because of his body of work, and no matter how much people hate this dude, his music is undeniable. He makes really good music.
No,
like,
sure.
Whether you like it or not, like, you can't help but nod your head to the music he puts out.
No, I agree.
My number 1, it changes all the time. I don't really have a number 1. I love music, bro, so it depends on who I like at that time.
Tread lightly. You know people to crucify on this one.
Yeah, I know.
Tread
I
lightly.
should have just said Drake and called it a day.
Seriously.
But my number 1 artist. I'm gonna switch real quick. I'm gonna put Drake at 1, and I'm gonna put
No. Go to 1.
All right. 1 is Hove.
I respect that one.
1 is
I
Hove
can
for
respect
sure.
that one.
Jay-Z is definitely my number 1
that
for
one.
sure.
Okay.
I was born in New York and moved to Connecticut, so that East Coast,
Okay.
rap is always, held dear to me.
Gotcha. Okay. That's a cool lineup.
That's a cool lineup.
can-
So here's
we
a
can
question.
respect
Here's
that.
a question for you. Do you think today's music is better or worse than music 10 years ago?
Today's music is better.
Is it better or worse?
Worse. No questions.
You
Worse.
said that with no hesitation.
Because you wanna know why I say that is because there's no distinctive sound anymore, right? I feel
I
like
feel like everybody sounds the same.
exactly. I
Yeah.
feel like everybody goes to the studio and everybody is pulling a blueprint from somebody
Right.
and mimicking, and it's sounding
Like, whatever's hot there, how do we mimic that but make it our own?
Yeah, like so I would say, don't get me wrong, it's still good. Like I feel like I'm always gonna be a young soul. I'm gonna play the young new artists and stuff like that. But
Right.
I really think the music before like the 90s, early 2000s, even the late 2000s, kind of, I think it's unmatched.
Right. I agree.
You know, like
I agree.
I catch myself, like I still play some old Chris Brown. I may play
Come
some.
on.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, I caught myself on a plane the other day, some Drew Hill. I was like, damn, I forgot all about Drew Hill.
Yeah, I was just playing Ja Rule the other day.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, yo, like, damn, they had bars back in the
Yo,
day.
come on, man.
Yeah,
making real music. It had substance. I think that's what it is now. I think music had substance back then. I think now everybody's, fuck bitches get money, or,
Exactly.
fuck niggas get money. It's like, the music all sounds the same, but they're all rapping about the same thing
Exactly.
on both sides, women and men. And I think somebody needs to just.
I don't see that happening. I don't see. I don't think there's
hope.
no artist out here right now that's going to bridge that gap and be like, you may find like one song that may be, oh wow, they're bringing real R&B
Right.
back, and then it just goes back to, right? Because think about it,
Right.
like, are there any really still good R&B artists out there right now?
Tails put me on this artist, Leon Thomas.
But that's how many songs does he have? I like him.
He got a
And I heard the
he
remix
got a
from Chris
bunch of
Brown.
good records, man. A bunch of good
I have to hear more. But
and like his engineer is actually out here in Philadelphia.
okay,
And he's been recording a project at the studio that I go to.
okay,
And he played me a few of his records, and he got some like old school, like some real heavy hitting R&B coming out. Speaking of which, he put out a song Chris Brown jumped on a song that he put out recently, Mutt.
No, it's a
Remix.
banger.
That shit's hard.
It's a
I
banger.
listen to that shit at least
It's
once a
a
day.
banger.
At least once a day, I have to play.
I ain't
that
gonna lie. I
record.
think Usher did better on it.
What? I know you're not about to go into this topic about who's better.
I just think Usher would have did better on it.
You all right?
I'm perfectly fine.
You sure?
I'm perfectly fine.
Why?
Usher's just. I feel like
He's a different era, though. Not to
no,
take away
not.
from Usher's greatness.
Usher's still in this era.
I agree. I'm not taking that away from him. I think the way that you're not topping what Chris did. Chris,
Okay.
the way Chris pulled
Okay.
up on that was crazy.
Chris Brown is a great performer. Like
Are you insane?
he can sing, but it's like, all right. Prime example. All right, Usher at a concert.
People are gonna melt watching him
He can sit on a stool and
do
people
nothing.
will be engaged.
Right, right.
Chris Brown has to actually.
But that's what he was known to do. Though Usher was known to do the sit there and serenade you, talk to you like this. But Chris Brown is more theatrical. He's more of the movement. He gets you with the dancing, and he's also doing that while singing live.
He's a true entertainer.
Yes.
But I'm talking about as far as like music, like I'm really okay, like
So
really
you playing the whole Usher album back, like
for
front
sure.
to back,
Confessions,
and you. All right. I set myself up for that
seriously. That's come on now.
Banger.
Confessions,
one. I might have go play that in the car right home.
yeah, Confessions is a banger, but I don't think there's, like you said, I don't think there's any more substance in music
Yeah.
anymore.
Nobody's
So-
talking about anything real anymore. It's all about what's hot nowadays. Like no one's like talking about love, so to speak. Like what it's like to be in love with somebody. How is it to court
Yeah.
somebody and like
I personally think I think rap is going to
change?
it's going to
Which way do you think it's changing? You think it's changing to more like, because like I asked you this question the other day. Could you listen to a Boss Man D-Lo project front to back? And you said no. You
Ooh.
said no.
no, I can't.
You can. Oh no, you did.
No, I can't.
You can't. Okay,
I
yeah,
can't.
but so you did say no.
Can't listen to a Bossman Dealer project all the way, but I feel like he will have a little bit of a long, because he makes good bop club music and good strip club music, and that's what
The strip club never dies.
never dies.
Yeah, never
you know what I'm
dies.
saying?
You're
But if
just
you're
finding, trying to find the next person. Everybody has like their wave of like strip club bangers.
exactly, that's why when I saw that beef between Drake and Kendrick, I was like, wow, I was like,
Finally, I
see-
said finally.
yeah.
This is what we've been looking for. Like I've been waiting for years to like hear
Yeah.
somebody
I
really
mean, I still
rap.
think Drake won for sure,
You think Drake won?
for sure.
I agree.
I still think Drake. won.
And again, I be on TikTok heavy, so there's this page that releases all of his like leaked songs.
Yeah.
And I guess he's working on a project right now. And the shit that I'm hearing right now,
Ooh,
I'm gonna send you them too. You gotta add the clips to this too. I'm gonna send you so you gotta add the clips. But he got some stuff coming.
so wrap this up. We're talking about music right now. Do we have any projects coming out? And if we do we have any?
Yeah.
Do we have any features?
Any features currently? No, but I have a list of people that I do want to get on my project. Kaylani's one of them. Larry June's another one. I want to do. So I've been watching DDG's streams.
So it's today.
Yeah, so we were watching that
he
together today.
surprised me. He
So
was really good.
I've
He
been
was really
watching
good.
him for the past couple of weeks, and I want to try to get on his podcast too and do a record with him. I want to do artists that kind of correlate with my brand.
Gotcha.
You know,
Gotcha.
so if I can get those people, those are just some of the people that are on my list right now. There's plenty more, but
Gotcha.
I do a project coming out. I do a project every year. Every year, I always do it for my birthday. I always put one out on my birthday. So
Gotcha.
best believe I'll have a project
Gotcha.
coming out.
So
Looking for a name change too. Again,
so like with the season being over, right? Like, and it wasn't a
successful one.
it wasn't the guy's best season. That's a new topic. But where are you at mentally, and how are you guys coming back for next year, or how is like that whole dynamic and energy?
Mentally, I'm good. Showing a lot of improvement with my foot. Obviously I've been injured since December before Christmas. So I've been showing a lot of improvement, the past couple of weeks, because I kept coming back after that point too, and I kept getting hurt again too. So I've been out for almost a month now. So the healing process has been good. I've been getting the right PT for it to kind of get that movement back in my toe again. I think mentally, we're all in a good space. We all know that this is something that was out of our control.
Yeah.
We can't control injuries. We can't control, freak accidents that happen, like losing Jared first. then obviously
For sure.
Joel, and then Paul, then myself. And it became a domino effect after that. So I think our spirits are still relatively high because we know that we'll have an entire summer to rest, recover, and come back better.
Yeah.
And if we do keep the same team, I don't know what the front office is going to do. I think we have a really good chance of being very special.
Gotcha, man. Well, that was
It's a good day, man. Good job, man.
yeah. I'm looking forward to seeing the season. Great job. Yeah, I mean, a good episode. We gotta
Another
keep this
great
going.
episode.
Definitely. Link in the bio.
Link in the bio. Y'all go ahead and check that out. You know, this is Brother Man Skit. I go by Andre Drummond.
For sure, man.
Why is it so hard to wish a nigga well?